What is happening, guys? This is your captain speaking, and today we are talking episodes 17 and 18 of Kamen Rider Zi-O. Now, this is an interesting point within the series run because it seems that we're done with the storylines that involve obtaining all the past Heisei Riders' powers through the Ride Watches, because I think we finished that with the Heisei Generations Forever movie, which just came out recently, so us American fans have no way of watching that right now, so we'll know for sure what happens months down the line when, TV Nihon subs it and whatnot. But what it's doing now is that it's introducing its own original riders unique to this show. So like right now we have a new character, Shinobi, and the irony is that his actor is the same guy that played Star Ninja and Shuriken Sentai no Ninja. And now he's moved over to Kamen Rider. And he's just playing another ninja-themed character. So it's like he basically just got promoted, though. And on top of that, we're also introduced to Kamen Rider Woes in this arc, too. And this guy, he's basically an alternate timeline version of the Woes we know now, who... This one, he's a lackey of Gates in the future as opposed to Sogo. And his deal is that in an alternate timeline, when Gates actually defeats Oma and Zi-O, he ends up saving this guy somehow. So that's why he constantly refers to Gates as savior. Now this is also going to raise some concern for the first Woes, because now that there's a second version of him, he knows that they have opposing goals to each other. So one wants to protect Sogo while the other one wants to protect Gates. And they want to... Well, I guess Woes doesn't want to destroy Gates, but definitely Gates' Woes wants to destroy Sogo. Now, they also come up with a system to differentiate the two as well, but this is in episode 18. And it's when they're all sitting down back at the clock shop talking. And Sogo comes up with the idea to refer to the first Woes as... I think the first Woes is Black Woes, and the second one is White Woes. I might have to watch it again, but if I'm wrong, please don't flame me in the comment section. Now, for Kamen Rider Shinobi. I mentioned him, but I didn't really talk about him, so here we go. So, Shinobi first shows up as, in his regular rider form in 17 in Sogo's dream. That's where it starts off. So Sogo's going to find himself in the year 2022 when he's very, very confused as to why it's not 2019 since it's the new year. But he's going to find himself ambushed by these guys in black, like they seem to be in ninja attire themselves. And that's when this guy shows up and transforms into Shinobi. Now Sogo's going to wake up and finds out that it was all just a dream sequence. But then we find out that this guy is an actual person. And the real story is that Schwartz is going to give Wool the Shinobi Ride Watch in the first place. And that's when he gives it to... I'm still trying to learn the guy's name. Is it Kagura something? I'll learn it eventually. But he's going to find the guy in an alleyway. He's going to try and save one of his friends from being attacked by a gang of punks. And he ends up getting beat up himself. And that's when Wool comes along and gives him the Rider Watch. And his sole purpose in the first place was to gain more power to protect the weak. But that's not the case here because the Rider Watch just causes him to attack innocent people anyway. So that seemed kind of odd, but okay. So now we first officially meet the new Woes when he walks up on Wool trying to get answers about who the new Shinobi Rider is. And at first he refuses to tell him because he feels like he owes him nothing. But then he blackmails him by, manipulating his time-stopping powers by putting a car in front of him but making him unable to stop it from coming and running him over. So he finally gives in when the car is close enough and admits that he doesn't know too much about him, but that Schwartz just gave him the watch. So then Gates and Zi-O are going to have their first official fight with Shinobi. And it goes as planned, like the guy gets away. And then after the fact, that's when Sogo and Tsukiyomi first officially meet the new Woes himself. And to their surprise, well, to everyone's surprise, it's a different Woes like I had mentioned before. And most of all, the first Woes, Black Woes, is surprised the most. And the reason being is that he himself is supposed to know the future inside and out due to that book he has. Like, he has everything written down from history up to that point in 2068. And this is an obvious deviant from that. And speaking of books, the new Woes has this electronic booklet that allows him to not manipulate, but guide the future into the timeline that he lives in with Gates. Now, he says that he doesn't exactly have the power to control the future, but it kind of seems like he does, though. Like, it doesn't make sense as to like what extent. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not clear as to like what extent the book can work. You know, like he's able to, I guess, affect small things here and there. Like he can speak minor events into existence. Let's just say that. Like, he'll say that there'll be a whirlwind, or if someone loses a fight, like they'll lose, or if they trip up. So it's not clear as to like exactly how that works, but maybe they'll elaborate more later on down the line. Who knows? But anyway, in the second fight with Shinobi, that's where Woes meets Gates. Well, White Woes meets Gates, and that's where he finds out that that's the Woes from the timeline where he defeats Zi-O and becomes his savior. But now we come to the big moment where Woes is going to take out his Beyond Driver and transform into Kamen Rider Woes. And this is where he steps in and takes out the another Shinobi, and that's the episode. Well, we do see Schwartz revive him, and that's going to keep happening until, well, let's not get too far ahead. So, now episode 18 is going to offer a bit of an interesting concept because they're unable to defeat another Shinobi in their timeline because the Rider Watch, well, Kamen Rider Shinobi, the original one, he's from the future in the year 2022. So, in this time, his Rider Watch hasn't even been created yet. So, that offers a bit of a dilemma because they have no means of defeating this guy without the Rider Watch. Now, you could assume that they could go to the future. Well, they could go to 2022 and try and get the watch from there. But no, they actually explain that as to where, I guess, due to the alternate timelines, they're unable to exactly go forward in time because I don't know, like it gets kind of iffy here at this point. I guess the best way I can describe it is because of there now being two alternate timelines, the time machine, it has a hard time deciding as to which future it wants to go to. So it doesn't know if it wants to go to the 2022 where Zi-O is defeated or the 2022 where he still exists, you know? And we're not going to get a solution for this until towards the end where White Wolves actually uses that book of his to create the Shinobi Ride Watch. And it's there where he's going to use it on himself and his Beyond Driver to take up the form. And that's when he defeats the another Shinobi. And this is going to come after so many attempts when he's been temporarily defeated, and Schwartz just kept reviving him until he got sick of it. And he didn't want to do it anymore. He came to his senses. Sorry, I kept stuttering. Now, White Wolves is going to part for now, but not before promising Solo that there will be a time for them to, fight out later. But now wasn't the time. Now everyone's going to huddle up into their own little groups. Now you have Black Wolves, the original Wolves, off with Sogo, and then you have Tsukiyomi and Gates off by themselves, and they're discussing they're discussing their plans for the future, because Sogo and Wolves, like they come to the conclusion that no one's on their side but them. Like Gates and Tsukiyomi and the Time Jackers are all against him becoming king, while Tsukiyomi and Gates are discussing that whether or not they have the heart and the resolve to complete the mission. And it's it's kind of the same like back and forth decision that Gates has been on for the past couple of weeks as to whether or not he's gonna take out Sogo or not. But I feel like this time though, he because it's with another person, like it's mutual. I feel like it's more serious this time. Like he has a better, I guess he has a better determination and focus on his mission now than more than ever before. Then again, though, I'm confused as to how he plans to carry this out, though, because I still feel like he doesn't want to exactly kill Sogo now. But he did promise that if he did continue on the path to becoming the evil demon king, that he would take him out for his sake, because neither of them want that, So it's going to be kind of exciting to see what he's going to do in these next few episodes, though. Like, it seems like everyone's taking teams for right now. So you have Team Gates and Tsukiyomi, and then Team Sogo and Wolves. Then you have the Time Jackers, of course. And then off to the side, you kind of have White Wolves, who wants to be on Gates and Tsukiyomi's team. But I don't think Gates trusts him quite yet. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's going to just about do it for this episode. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also visit my Facebook page at Midwest Tokusatsu. There's a lot of good stuff going on there. We share memes, cosplay, and also a lot of my own cosplays that I do there. And news, of course, we share the latest news in Tokusatsu. And